Now let's quickly look at the last question from our example, which states that if the sum of two consecutive numbers in the pattern it is 1227, we are requested to calculate the difference. So we are requested just to calculate the difference between the two terms. So the difference between the two terms, t subscript n plus 1 as well as t subscript n. So what will the difference of the two terms be? So that's what we are interested in. But before that, I want us to keep in mind that the initial number of terms from the given sequence, it is 4. So we know that we had initially, we have the following. I'm quickly going to write them down. So we have here our sequence comprised of the following terms: 4, 7, and we have also the next term being 11, and lastly we had 16. We had the following terms: 4, we had 4, so we have 4, we have 7, we have 11, and lastly we have 16. So what I am going to do is just to extend these terms with 4 more additional unknown terms. So I'm going to extend them with 4 more additional unknown terms, and those terms will obviously be t subscript n minus 1, and we also have t subscript n being the position of our term, and we also have t subscript n plus 1, and the last term would obviously be t subscript n plus 2. So these are the 4 additional terms that I have used to extend this particular sequence: t subscript n minus 1, t subscript n plus 1, and lastly t subscript n plus 2. So for the purpose of this video, and this question, we are going to look at t subscript n and t subscript n plus 1. And the reason for this, it is because if we work this out to determine the position, these are the only 2 terms that can give us a natural number, as I have indicated using this notation here. So obviously when you take 7 plus that, it doesn't give you 1000 that. So there are terms in the sequence which when you add, they give you 1227. So just to reiterate, like I said, if you were to take any of the terms and add them, which we do not know of, it could be this and that. When you add them together, they should give you that. But for the purpose of this video and this question, we go with this and that, because these are the only 2 terms which, when you add them together, they give you 1227. And if you have any doubts as whether it will work if used with other successive terms, for an example, if you took this and added to that and equated to this, you can determine if in fact you will get n being a natural number. Go ahead, please feel free to check whether or not you will get a natural number if you work out other successive terms besides t subscript n plus 1, which is added to t subscript n. Okay, now As I mentioned, that this is just, it's a notation that we use to indicate that n is a set of natural number, or n is a natural number, and we exclude 0 from that. And it is the position of the term in the sequence. So what you are going to do, you're just going to take the formula, and we remember that the kth term, or rather the nth term of the sequence, this particular sequence, is given by half n squared plus 3 over 2 n plus 2. So we're just going to do basic substitutions into we're just going to do basic substitutions into this equation. So we're going to take the subscript, substitute it in the equation, and work them out. And ultimately you will have with this, so you determine the values of n. So you have that